Hello and welcome back to Inside Marketing. We're here on day 2 of Demexco 2022 and now I'm at the Full Story stand and joined by Oscar.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
An absolute pleasure. So why don't we kick off with you just telling everyone a bit about Full Story and what you do there?
Oh, sure. So my name is Oscar. I'm a regional VP and we do digital experience intelligence. So as we have all experienced, the world has changed over the last months and years. Right? We are now in a digital first economy. You know, in my hometown, you can see this in the flower shop, who became way more digital. We now have click and collect, where I can order online but pick it up. Or even at school of my kids, where they all understood they would need to become more digital and also now offering online courses. Companies and the economy understood this. So what they did, they introduced and bought new tools to measure everything that happens on their websites, trying to understand what happens. But this brought challenges with it, because introducing new tools and also thinking about digital experience as companies today are exchangeable, right? Everything is digital, everything is transparent. So companies understood they need to make the digital experience or the customer experience great for their customers. So they introduced new tools, but that brought challenges like design problems, technical glitches, and so many things that you can do wrong. What they also did, either they brought in tools that are very, very siloed in the way how they track things. Maybe they only do this with mobile apps. But in general, those kind of companies, they are not able to track and understand the full picture. Or you have on the flip side, you have those companies who bring in lots of data, log every user interaction. They put it on data lakes, which create a sea of noise, but with a lack of insights. This is why there's a new category, which is called Digital Experience Intelligence, in short, DXI. And it goes way beyond traditional analytic tools. It also includes things like anomaly detection, frustration analysis, user sessions, all the parts that you would need next to your quantitative insights. So insights going from the macro perspective, understanding what is happening on the website, but you would also need to have like qualitative insights, which is like something like user sessions, understanding what users have been doing on your websites. And Full Story is introducing the combination of the both and using the both, where on the one side you are able to get an idea what's happening on the website, but at the same time kind of zooming in, like in Google Maps, and understanding every single user session that happened online.
Interesting. So it definitely feels that the buzz I've been getting from around the show, that it feels like one of the big things that people are dealing with now is kind of analytics is almost old school at this point, and we're moving to a point where we're getting to a much more thought out idea of what analytics can be, that it's much more than just a series of data points and a lot of people guessing at what that might mean. And there seems to be a lot more intelligence behind that now. And that seems to be the trend going on all over the place.
Absolutely. And this is what we hear and see quite massively with customers and with prospects. What we see, the biggest challenges is actually integrating DXI into the current tech stack.
That makes sense, yeah.
But DXI is complementary to, for example, tech stack tools that are already in use, like A/B testing tools, survey tools, where you gather and you collect lots of quantitative insights, and we actually add the qualitative insights like user sessions, really understanding when someone gives a survey and leaves a not so great rate, you necessarily don't understand why they left that, but you always have the qualitative session underneath being able to understand what's going on. So it is actually scaling and bringing DXI into this. Traditionally, before you thought about analyzing customer experience analytics, you had to think in advance what you would like to track and what is important to understand in a user journey. So you would need to tag things, you know, whether it's like content or pictures, because you think, okay, this is something that you would like to include. Yeah. Full Story is the only company that automatically collects, structures, and indexes all kinds of data around the user visit. And we do it with a single script that you put on the website or into the tag manager. And when a user now comes onto your website, we collect everything around the structure of the website, but also all events a user is doing, whether it's a click, whether it's pinch to zoom on your mobile app or on a mobile.
So you can record that level of granularity.
Yes. And we do it with auto capture. One thing that we also hear very, very often is just like, okay, yeah, we do understand you track user sessions and you're able to reconstruct those user sessions and have like a replay. What about GDPR? What about personal data? The way how FullStory does it, and we call it a mechanism, we call it private by default, which means that you as a FullStory administrator have full control of what information is collected and indexed on a FullStory server, which for the EMEA is stored, which is all in Frankfurt, all GDPR compliant, which also means that the only information that we collect, that there is a session, there is a user, basically making sure that we do not collect any sensitive data or personal data. And now you would have the possibility to also get in and say, okay, maybe pictures that you have or content that you have on your website, no, it's not sensitive. And you would like to unmask it, or you would like to have this tracked, and you would like to see how your customers or prospect interact with it. So you can set these information or the search bar, right? You would like to understand what people are looking for, to understanding the why behind the what.
Don't we all? That's what we all want to know. That's the $1 million question.
And these are things that you can unmask.
Very interesting. So, as someone who's sort of slightly on the outside as the company that provides the software, have you noticed any particular trends or insights that people are regularly seeing?
Yes. So think about, and again, going into the direction of customer experience analytics and trying to see, okay, what are actually different frustration signals that are detected by FullStory. We often see signals like error clicks. Like, for example, you browse through the website, you click somewhere and you expect like a functionality to happen, but the JavaScript does not fire and it's just not working. This is like something that we see very, very often. Yeah. What we also see are dead clicks. So people who just click on certain areas on your webpage or your mobile app, where the product manager, it was not meant that the customers click there. And this very often happens. And I'm this kind of user. When I go to the bottom of the page, I click on the logo just to come on top. Right? And these are things that you need to understand with customer behavior, that people are doing this, and maybe you would like to include this functionality. What we also have are things, and this is something that FullStory brought up, are rage clicks. And rage clicks are like being in the elevator, right? And just really being very hard on just closing the door.
You're not measuring velocity of mouse click there.
Yeah, we do. So, but these are things that we do measure just to make companies understand there is user friction that you can optimize, for example, to optimize in conversion rate. Let me just give you like another example of a real life example that we have been discovering with a automotive manufacturer of ours, a German one. So we had the product manager, and they were interested in understanding why a conversion rate for a calendar functionality was just not working. Because what they saw quantitative wise was, hey, people who come to our website and would like to make an appointment with the calendar functionality, they open up the calendar, but no one is booking an appointment for a car repair. Quantitative side, they understood, yes, there is something happening, but they did not understand why it was just not working. So they created a segment of all the users who use the calendar functionality, and they watched session replays. And they found out that when user open up the calendar functionality, and today we have September or October, so the month was already full taken and it was all blurred in red. when they click into
Can I
the
just
next
ask
month.
a quick question
Yes,
on
of
that?
course.
Am I right in saying then that the granularity of data means you can literally replay a session as if you're sat there in the room with them?
Yes, it's like standing behind them, really watching what they
crazy.
do, but all with all of the security, no PII day. Literally, you just see their movements and the events that they undertake on the websites. And this is something that you must combine with quantitative, so the macro perspective. Otherwise, you would not get those kind of insight, like the calendar functionality.
Yes, which, as you were saying,
So what they found out is when people clicked on the calendar and they saw everything is blurred, they clicked to the next month, and also the next month was fully taken. They thought that the calendar was just not working. So what did they do? They picked up the phone and they called the auto shop and wanted to make an appointment via phone. But this was not the idea of the calendar functionality. So today, when you go into the calendar, what happens, and this is like an improvement in customer experience, is whenever you pop up the calendar functionality, it's already jumping into the month of the first available appointment that you can make. And the conversion rate, as you can guess, just exploded. But there you see again the importance of connecting quantitative data with qualitative data.
brilliant. Well, I could go on about this all day. It's fascinating listening to these stories, but we are going to have to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us today. If people want to know more about Full Story, where should they be looking?
Fullstory.com. Full Story, everyone who would like to test it, is absolutely possible. We have a free version. So go on the webpage, check it out, and click the I would like to get a demo button.
Perfect.
And we connect.
And with any luck, we'll get a video that we can throw into this interview so you can see some of what we're talking about as you're talking. Perfect. Well, thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next episode.